Alright, here's the strange true story behind the Battle of the Corpse in York, which mixes history, grave robbing, and a final act of defiance from beyond the grave. The tale revolves around Charles Byrne, who in the late 1700s was known as the Irish Giant. He was an astonishing 7 feet 7 inches tall and a celebrity in Georgian England. People paid to see him perform in shows around London and York. But Byrne dreaded one thing above all else, ending up on a surgeon's dissection table. At the time, the bodies of unusual people like Byrne were prime targets for medical schools. Surgeons paid really well to get them. In 1783, Byrne became gravely ill. Knowing his time was short, he left strict instructions. "When I die," he said, "have my friends seal me in a lead-lined coffin and sink it deep into the sea. That way no anatomist could ever lay hands on him." But Byrne's extraordinary size also attracted the attention of John Hunter, a famous surgeon and collector who desperately wanted Byrne's skeleton for his anatomical museum. So when Byrne died in London, Hunter reportedly bribed the undertakers to swap the corpse with heavy stones while his body was spirited away. It was then taken to York and secretly buried in a churchyard there. But word spread that Byrne's coffin had been moved north. And in the middle of the night, when grave robbers or resurrection men came to dig up the body, they were fought off by an angry mob of friends and locals who stood guard. Some accounts say an actual scuffle broke out in the night between the resurrection men and locals, with the robbers eventually fleeing empty-handed. Hence the name the Battle of the Corpse. Most historians think that John Hunter did indeed steal Byrne's body and quietly prepared his skeleton for display in London, where it remained in the Hunterian Museum until it was removed from public view in 2023. But the York battle became a kind of folk legend, a story of townsfolk protecting the dead from the greedy hands of science. Byrne himself would probably have been horrified to think that his bones were on display for people to gawk at. But if he'd planned on resting in peace, he might have chosen a different resting place.